Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? The thing with the record and such. Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Okay. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Did not pass. Wait, what? Oh, so it was in the body. Okay. And then my not lawyer badge. Okay. Victim, John H. Wilson, male, British, time of death, 19th of November, shortly after 2 p.m. Single bullet fired at close range, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Okay.
Yes!
Yes! Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to a gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at a close range. Okay. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Photographic print that shows the victim who was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died. Okay. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer here today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asugi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? I'm sorry, what? That's a phrase I've never heard before. Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. I mean, seriously, his eyes are going fucking nuts. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. How is he doing this? What airbending power does this man have? It's incredible. It's the butler. Of course it's the butler. It's always the butler.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival. Oh shit. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental?
How many words am I gonna have to look up in this fucking playthrough? See, this one I have to look up how to pronounce, and also I don't think I know what it means.
Occidental.
Okay, so not even that. I mean, I had it. And apparently it means relating to the countries of the West. Cool.
The grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away the crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
No, wait. Don't... Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
This is not time for that. There's a procedure here, buddy.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's reports of what he saw, you amateur.
But... You say characters immediately recognize certain animations. It's true. I mean, that's the thing, right? I think it's the idea from what I, like... Because I remember back before this got localized, because I really wanted to play it before it got localized, and I was... To the point where I was tempted to buy and learn Japanese just so I could, like, get a Japanese 3DS and, like, play it. And, like, I never did that, obviously. But, from what I understand about the game, and, like, this version, it's like the past, it's like Ancestry, right? Like, this guy's, like, Phoenix Wright's ancestor. I assume this guy's, like, the Pain ancestor, right? His name is Ouchie. I think I get the idea. I don't know if that applies to everybody, though. Or at least all, like, the main set. But yeah, definitely some similar animations. The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see in court here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Yeah, Naruhodo. Yeah, I believe his, Phoenix Wright's Japanese name is, Ryuichi Naruhodo. This guy's Ryunosuke. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? Oh, also, I was distracted. What did he just say? There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Okay. There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Well... I mean, I guess... Yeah, go straight for it.
Yes!
Yes! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Attention!
Probably gonna get in trouble.
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. Ooh, those are sinister glasses if ever I've seen them. I know that tint of glasses. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Oh, shit. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. The head waiter's business card. A sketch of the restaurant's layout is on the back, and he is dying in the background. Jesus Christ. And so, the court has now heard a precis... I'm not Googling this one. Precis of the case. I assume that's just like a summary. That just means summary. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that means summary. I'm not Googling every word I don't know. I'm done. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
Didn't he just say there was no one else there? Isn't that like the crux of his argument? What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent, and I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Believe in me and my flowing headband. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. There's not enough room for me to... Camera... I can't do the point. I can't do the Ace Attorney point! Professor Ouchi, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. I can be your angel or your devil.
God. Ugh, indeed, Ryunosuke. Indeed.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Oh my goodness gracious. I almost forgot how, like, colorful the characters in Ace Attorney tend to be. They are like, you're like, whoa!
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iesa Nosa, reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity at from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District, Curio Korakuta. Oh my god, his name's Curio. I forgot the whole thing about Ace Attorney names and how they're always puns. I just forgot. Curio Korakuta, at your service.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always past noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. Oh god.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at Le Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. And he obviously targets Le Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what could only be described as an act of war, sir.
God.
It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir.
Did I just hear a baby? Am I... I'm sorry? This man's as impossible to understand as the other. I almost... I just heard a baby? I almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. Soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred.
Sir, yes, sir. There's a fucking baby. Does he have a baby? Oh my god, is that what's on... Is that what the straps are? Does he have a baby on his back?
Sir, yes, sir. Standing by to report, sir.
Standing ready, just... Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Oh dear. Testimony. What the witnesses saw.
I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. Is this... This feels like the like cross-examination from the like Professor Layton Ace Attorney game, the crossover one. Like that one was weird because you had like multiple witnesses at a time. Is that what we're going for here? Because I kind of love that.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemies.
It's a fucking baby.
I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. And from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Oh, well, immediately I see a contradiction here. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Yeah, someone stole his shit? That sucks.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired at the victim...
Fired the victim at the weapon. Yep, that's what he did.
You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy.
Why can he just bring weapons in here? I get that it's an antique. Really? He's gonna let this guy have a fucking knife? What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I had said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Well, if that's the truth, then there was obviously a criminal in the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine it? Cross-examine? Do it now.
We have heard, Your Excellency. There is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty.
The gun leaving the fingerprints on it. Again, apparently it's just a thing people do. Fucking... Miles Edgeworth sends his regards.
It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Baby was the killer! Yes! You know, I could see it also. Oh. I love how polite he is, raising his hand. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Why is that surprising?
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know? God.
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding. Oh, my heart. It flutters. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Characters are so dramatic. Yeah, it's very much. I fucking love it. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Oh my god, the fucking like wet fish slapping sound. Oh, Ryunosuke, you're... Oh, that's really funny. It's all or nothing. I was not expecting it. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regular... Okay, I already know where the lie is, but also... You know, I want to get as much information as I can, you know?
Yes!
Press this. Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Oh my god, Ryunosuke! Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you. Alright then, this beefsteak you mentioned. What kind of food is that? Attention! Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron griddle and served piping hot. Oh. If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned. What kind of food is that? Oh my god. Attention!
Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal, tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it.
Yes, sir. I will, sir. On the double, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Sorry, I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying sound?
Negative!
Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Oh, I got a trophy for that. Oh my god.